Channel. We're glad you're with us for the second half of session 3. Our players are finding out that there's more than meets the eye with their missing mage friend as they dive deeper and deeper into their campaign here. And now we've got a slave trade involved. So let's jump in and get into the second half of session 3, and we'll see where it leads.
You should mark out where that is on not necessarily on our map, but on your map for future reference. Unless you already have it. Because I'm assuming, and I'm playing this as character. I'm assuming this is not the only entrance to the Underdeeps at this point.
It is not.
Yeah, but this is one that we know as characters, and it's, because we've, in out of character terms right now, we have been to that inn previously with our other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So.
They're pretty good chips, ain't they?
Oh, they are.
Yeah, that one's empty.
Tostitos?
Tostitos?
Yeah.
Alright. So we do make it back up.
Mm-hmm.
It is evening. We're still another day's travel back to Water's Edge, though, right?
A little bit more than that. In another few hours, you could be at the inn where you met Peter and Sven.
What we want to do?
Might as well head back to the inn.
Yeah. You've got night vision, right?
Right.
Dark vision, whatever. So you can drive. You've got dark vision. I can't see shit. So let's go back to the inn and we'll proceed in the morning.
Okay, so you guys, of course, once you get back to the surface, Peter and Sven bid you farewell.
Yeah.
And they take off in an easterly direction.
Yeah.
You guys, you kind of know where you're at. You've been this way before, so you make it back to the inn. It's about 9:30 at night.
So it is well into dark time then.
Yes.
Even though it's probably, I would guess probably summertime, huh?
Late summer.
Yeah. Okay. Because it was down in the corner of the lower left-hand corner of 3 was where she broke into the dam.
Correct.
Into the cart and shit. Now he's down in the dock, charmed Peter, got him to cool Sven off, yada yada yada.
That's what he's saying.
That is a good one. Oh man. That is good stuff, man. That is good stuff. Alright, so rent up a room.
Yes, so the innkeeper.
We do a big like a suite type if we can. Fucking
Right. At least
with
one
multiple
of the two
beds. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to sleep. Up here I am uncomfortable sleeping.
From this point on, we need to be together now that we're dealing.
Oh yeah, because
We're dealing with the slave trade.
right, and knowing that those drow, because I'm assuming you conveyed all your information that the drow were watching us while we were down there. Their arrows were similar to the ones that we found here. We didn't pay any attention coming back up out of the Underdeeps
Right.
to who was following us, if
Yeah.
anybody was following us.
I'm little, I can easy to snatch up.
So we.
Yeah, when it comes to Royce, you gotta be. When there's eagles in the area, you gotta watch out for Royce.
So
Right.
we need to be on our best behavior as far as it's concerned with like what the fuck's gonna go down here, and know and know that this could be some seriously dire circumstances for us if we
Okay.
are separated.
So number 9. This is the common room. It's only 1 silver piece.
No, we wanna.
Suite 16 is available. Has 3 beds in it.
Well, I thought these two liked shacking up together. I could take if number 4 were available. That would be the prime.
Number 4 is available.
Excellent.
It would cost you 1 gold piece.
I think we can handle 1 gold piece. Can we not, gentlemen?
I believe so.
I'm just flipping the coin.
Okay. So, do you spend much time downstairs?
I want to get a bite to eat and a couple glasses of wine before we turn in for the evening.
Okay.
Again, I would like to set, much like the last time we were here, sit in front of the fireplace for a few hours and
Right.
leaf through my book, study my spells,
Okay.
do as it were.
Talk to the bartenders about his brewing and
Didn't he have a berry ale or something along
Like
that
an
line?
orange.
It was a
last time?
citrus, yes.
Yes.
Nate.
Yes.
Nate is a
I was.
burly, middle-aged human. Burly, kind of got a little bit of a pot belly, but he's pretty muscular, pretty big size, but jovial, very friendly, very charismatic. He talks openly to Hugh about his brewing techniques and
Excellent. I, for some reason, thought his name was Kevin. Maybe it's because, Marv. Kevin!
right. And then talking, you know, and just talk to Nate a little bit, kind of bring up like a little bit about, and I guess not from the area, whatever, not realizing there was a slave trade that you had to kind of watch out for around here.
yeah,
Is that something that's
he,
gotten worse, bigger?
he, so it's always been a thing, and it's one of those deals where everybody knows about it, nobody talks about it. They never really seem to. Obviously, it's bad, okay? But they never really seem to take anybody of importance.
Can we make it?
They never, whenever anybody investigates any kind of disappearance that they believe is part of the slave trade, it never really gets far.
Yeah.
Nobody knows really why. And they don't seem to do a lot of damage. So it's one of those deals where, okay, it's bad, we should do something, but in the bigger picture, maybe we just let it lie because we got bigger fish to fry. You know, if they were kidnapping, you know, nobles and people of high importance, it would be one thing, but it seems to be more or less common folk that get, and it's kind of random. It'll be maybe 1 or 2 from a large city. You don't really notice it. It's not like a village of 50 people and 5 go missing. You would notice that. So, you know, yeah, everybody knows about it. We know it's a problem, but without devoting a whole lot of effort, and you're probably going to step on a whole lot of toes in the processes to go through it. They just kind of let sleeping dogs lie.
Well, I am a toe stepper.
Nate just says, you know, you guys, you know, your little band that you have here, you really don't fit their bill. I don't think you personally would have anything to worry about as far as becoming slaves.
Yeah.
What are they looking for?
Slaves.
Yeah, you walked into that one, Roy.
Yeah, I did. So they just were like, hey, I'm a slave over here.
More or less workers. I mean, manual labor. They're not going to kidnap a baby. They're not going to, you know, children. They don't do that. You know, it's just labor type people.
Well, do we know? I guess I can't necessarily ask anything because I'm not necessarily in on their conversation. I'm in the corner reading up on the book.
Right.
So.
Right, you know, just kind of and talk, asking, you know, just talking a little about it, and like, yeah, we hear there's a little more present kind of by Water's Edge, and
Says you would be surprised on what comes in by boat. I'll leave it at that.
Alright, good enough. You got any more of that citrus beer?
Bearship Woods.
You insist, I have another.
Bears do shit in the woods.
Wait, let me think. You're correct.
He poured you up a mug. A tankard.
A jumbo. He fills you a stein.
So, yeah, Roy, what do you do? Matt's studying. Hugh is talking to Nate about brewing and slaves and everything else. What are you doing at this point?
Are you pulling the Casey? Doing some fissing down off the docks?
No. Is there any entertainment there tonight?
No.
No, fuck it, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Yes, actually, there is.
I just don't start up until you go to bed.
You walk upstairs, go to the room, go to bed. You guys notice the gnome kind of calls
And
you
I have no
night.
problem sleeping on the floor.
There's three. There's number 4. I thought you and him were shacking up in the big double bed, and I was gonna go on the little one.
Yeah, 'cause you don't take up a whole lot of space.
Oh, I'll put the dog it for the bed.
Yeah. You, on the other hand, takes up a lot of space.
Not lengthwise, though.
I sleep like an X.
Look, Taylor.
You lay at the foot of the bed, all at the top, and there's nowhere we can touch.
Don't cross the streams, Ray. All right, complete up my studies. Do what I need to do, and then I too will head upstairs and head to bed.
Okay. Hugh, as you're talking, you see the gnome walk upstairs, and then you see a little bit later Matt follows.
I'll have a youngest drinky soul and kind of head my way up that way eventually, Matt.
Okay. So you guys retire for the evening.
Boom.
Matt, when you walk in, the gnome is already pretty much asleep. Royce, you kind of know somebody walks in your room, but you don't know who it is, and at this point, you really don't care.
Yep.
This is it. This is it.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys go to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
wake up in the morning. This time, you're actually waking up to a little bit of sunlight poking through the
Winders.
shutters.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
That's pretty neat.
You can hear and smell stuff going on downstairs.
Hey, and she knows. All right. Head downstairs.
Nate's behind the bar. You hear the clanking and stuff of dishes coming from the kitchen.
Mhm.
Barmaids are huffing out breakfast like it's nobody's business. You hear a coach come in, and but when you guys come downstairs, now the windows are open, the front door is of course unlocked. You hear a coach come in. Oh shit! I've got coffee in there. Did you guys want coffee? I didn't start it.
No. Yeah. I can start it down.
Just hit the button.
Yep.
I do cup.
Excellent.
Just a little bit of pick me up.
I'm over here like.
Okay, so
So yeah, when you guys come downstairs, everything's opened up. The sun's poking through the windows. Like I say, everybody's hustling and bustling. A coach comes in, and nobody disembarks. They change out the team, and the coach takes back off again. You see the stable master takes the horses and leads them into the stable area, and you're seeing this through the windows.
that's
Ask Nate, I'm like, you guys get a lot of changeovers like that here? Is that Is this a change or is a
This
midway point?
this is for the Oldenhauer line, yes.
That's where I was headed for at that. And that's
Old
where
old man Oldenhauer has retired. His son has taken over. His son is getting quite aggressive. They're expanding. They're ever expanding. We do see the old man come through every now and then. He does, keep tabs on his boy a little bit, but he's getting up there in age, so he turned over day-to-day operations.
Excellent.
He's been grooming his son for quite a while to take over. So,
Yeah.
but yes, that particular coach line does not like to. They like to keep their time, so they have horses here that they do.
So you say they're renting space per se. Excellent. Well, that's got to be quite the
They do have a spare coach out back. If for some reason one is having trouble, they will, change coaches just to forego a breakdown on the road. But for the most part, they just, we can change out a team rather quickly.
A couple minutes.
Yep. So they just change out team for fresh horses.
One way to do it. I suggest we maybe just grab our breakfast and be on our way.
Sounds good.
I think,
For me. You guys heading to Water's Edge?
Yes.
actually we are, yes. We're looking for, but knowing, as I kind of overheard bits and pieces of you and Trog talking last evening, you wouldn't happen to know a Marv that's involved in the I'm trying to use a little discretion here. What you spoke with him of last night in the trade.
I don't, but just a tip, if I were you, I would check down by the docks.
Well, at least that points us in the right direction. That's
Alright.
we kind of heard as much from a kobold in the Underdeeps.
Cobalt.
Yes. Scaly little folk.
Yeah.
Shifty.
Killed a few by day. They can be a pain in the ass.
Swarms of them down there. Goblins, dark elves as well. Drow, they called them.
You guys watch your backs.
We appreciate that.
Yes, as the guy we're looking for would say, let's get it on.
I love it.
Nobody kills anybody till I say let's get it on. Alright, let's get it on. Judge Mills Lane.
I don't care what you want. And I don't want no
No
mbop, and I don't care what you really, really want. I just want a clean, tough fight. Now let's get it on.
Love it.
Great. All right.
I miss Celebrity Deathmatch.
That was good stuff back in the day.
Yep.
So he gets his ram. We get our cart.
Okay.
Say, giddy up.
You guys travel the day to Water's Edge. You pull into town. No, actually, you pull into town just about evening time.
Oh, look, it's Water's Edge.
Saw that coming. And we come in. Whoa, you had it set up right, I thought.
No, this is right, isn't it?
No. This is,
Oh yeah. There we
yeah, the initial time, the initial bring up, you had it correct.
go. So you guys come in through the
Eastern Gate.
eastern gate.
Because you have to go out the Eastern Gate, then go north.
Alright. Now then we've been down to the inn by the docks.
Yeah, the dock side in.
You've actually been to them both. You've never stayed at the Gladiators Inn,
Yeah, we
but
just
you've been there because you've
sheltered up his ram.
right.
Yeah, we have the ram and the cart now, so we might have to stay at the Gladiator and
Oh.
There
No,
are-
maybe
Is
not.
there is okay?
Or at least it's going to stop at a stable.
Yeah, I was gonna say we stop at a stable and leave the ram and the because we have is it an oxen cart or do we have a horse and cart?
It's a horse and cart. We found it.
Okay.
We found it from the guy we're looking for.
So the stable is actually across the river. So you
Then
can
maybe we just pry up at the gladiator and have them stable it up for the time being.
Right.
you can do that.
There's no point in crossing the river. We're backtracking, coming back across the river to.
You do have to pass the temple to get to the stable across the river, which sounds appealing to you, but I don't know if that plays any merit into your plans.
Right. Yeah, we can always do that.
Then if you have to go there anyways, we'll use this. Then we'll use the
Right.
stables because we don't need. At this point, we don't need a room.
Right. And if we do, we can always go to the dockside end and.
Right. And be inconspicuous without a ram and a cart
Right.
because of.
But we can swing by and like stop.
I like how you look at him and he looks away.
Everybody's hating on the ram.
I don't know if they hate on it as much as, but you take it into the house like it's a person.
This is
He
my.
gets treated well.
Man, Bob, you know that's a pig, don't you? Yeah, it's a good dog. All right, so cross the river.
Okay.
Hugh goes in. We'll give you a bit. We'll get
Right.
I'll get the cart
Right. Yeah, I'll go in.
tidied in at the stable.
Kinda say
You-
howdy.
Get your ram
Offer.
stabled in as well.
What do
All right.
I don't keep much on me because I always give it away to him anyway. So I give it to. I give like two gold coins to the coffers and.
Yeah, 'cause he ain't got much to begin with.
Brother. Traveling brother. How are things on the open road?
They seem to be all right. I mean, we've heard of some things that kind of disheartening in the world, but it is what it is.
We must all do our part to keep everybody on the righteous path.
Right. And like, you've heard much about, and I've heard, and I understand how the world works, but the slave trade around.
What would a brother of the cloth be needing with slaves?
Not needing, just heard about it and concerned.
It's over halfway done.
Ouch.
Yes, quite troubling the slave arrangement.
Is that something that someone like us have to worry about, or is that not from here? So when you hear a little bit about it,
Well,
as a traveler,
brother, we all do our part. But unfortunately, there are more wretched than there are of righteousness. We do what we can. We help when
We're
we
not with
can.
him, by the way. We're stabling up.
It's not enough.
all right, just as everybody says,
Thank you.
looking for any
It's
tips or
Inspiration.
suggestions to kind of.
Then maybe you should keep that
Keep
20
yourself
side
safe.
up. Maybe that's extra inspiration.
Most of that happens down by the docks.
oh, it is for when I want to roll one of my
Watch your back, brother.
abilities.
Is there any more service we can do for you this evening?
No, just like to take a moment and pray a little bit. And
Yes, of course, and he shows you the way. Have a blessed evening, brother. Go in good faith.
Assalamu alaikum.
Turns and walks away.
Oh, shoot. Excellent. I'll allow it. So yeah, we pay up the fee to the stables, come back. You know, I don't figure we're more than probably 15, 20 minutes at best. It's only it's the next building over
It is.
from the temple. And we'll just wait on the outside exterior steps for Drog to finish up
His dealings.
tithing and prayer as he needs to.
Okay, so you come out. About the time Hugh's coming out is about the time you guys are walking up the steps. Yeah. Cost you 2 copper pieces to
Stable up.
stable up.
That's fine. Yeah, that is fine.
little stable boy comes out, takes your mounts, leads them in the barn,
Perfect.
unhooks your cart.
Okay.
There's another stable boy in there. He's got a small bucket with green in it.
Don't mess with my shit, man. All right. So
Yes, I'll let him have the ram. Good.
we'll
2 copper pieces.
well,
So will you be returning to where?
towards the docks.
We can always hit the inn. And
I think
stop
after.
at the- Right.
Yeah, we'll go investigate around the docks a little bit, and then, if need be, head to the dockside inn. But
All right.
You know,
we can always stop.
check
in
out the
there.
warehouses. Check out,
So you go down to the docks, and like I said before, and like you guys are aware, both your characters now and your past characters, the docks are a bustling place.
Yeah.
You can see ships that are too big to port here. You can see them kind of off in
more
the distance,
offshore. Yeah.
and you can see barges heading back and forth between these ships, and they pull into the docks. And of course, there's a winch and pulley system to unload crates. They get the crates up on land, get them on a wagon, and then it goes to a warehouse. There's many warehouses down along the docks here. You don't know necessarily what's in them. There doesn't seem to be any kind of markings on them.
Pardon.
There's a few honest looking characters running around the docks, but for the most part, nearest you guys can tell, all of them look like they've got a certain percent of shadiness built into them.
Excellent. So, pick the first random guy that we see,
Okay?
and good sir, have you seen my friend Marv?
Marv.
Marv, yes, he's working down here at the docks. I haven't seen him in a coon's age.
Marv. No, I don't typically see Marv a whole lot around.
This was the last location. That
Yeah,
I
no,
was at.
no, I'm sure he's around someplace. I just haven't seen him.
It's a shame.
You might check down by the Riverfront Tavern. If he's not here around the docks, a lot of times that's where he's at.
Well, I suppose that's as good a place as any to start. So, good day, chap. I'll fling him a silver piece or whatever, just because he was helpful.
Right.
Gentlemen, what do you think? This is as good a lead as any.
I'm up for now.
I believe you always are, my friend. So,
Yeah, it's a-
we'll head to the Riverfront Tavern then, gentlemen.
sounds like a plan.
I'll bring up the rear.
It's been a good half day since I've been in a place for now for a drink.
No, the Riverfront is just a tavern. It's not. There's no rooms for rent.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't even know if I've met.
Can we just walk in there?
Yeah. There's.
Unless you want to go back across the bridge, get our ram.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case at this point. Let's. You got a dummy one you can use, even if What's the word I'm looking for?
A stock.
Yeah, that works as well, just as well. That looks like a tavern to me. Water's Edge Tavern.
I don't know. This was the old Water's Edge.
That's all right. I think it works, doesn't it?
Sure.
Which the Riverfront Tavern was modeled after.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a first franchise.
Reasonable facsimile.
Yep.
So,
Yep. So you guys walk in. This entrance here faces the water.
Yep.
And you walk in, and it's pretty busy.
yeah,
Especially for being late at night.
pirates and sailors and
Yeah.
vagabonds inside.
Yeah, a lot of scimitars and big fluffy striped pants and a lot of drinking going on. A little bit rougher than what you're used to.
Yeah.
There are a couple of brawls that get carried out into the street. You notice the bartender doesn't take no shit. If you want to kick the shit out of each other, that's fine, but don't wreck his establishment. Go do it out in the road.
We walk in. I assume you're leading the way.
Right.
You're in the middle. I bring
Yep.
up the rear. Marv, where are you at, old boy? When we walk inside and I close the door. Marv, where are you? You in here?
Doesn't seem
Marv!
doesn't seem to be anybody's.
Do I catch anybody's attention? Do I notice that I catch anybody's attention when I yell out?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the bar kind of gets quiet, but then it picks right back up noisy again.
Walk up to the bar. Ah, barkeep. Can I get a glass of wine?
You can. Pours you a glass, slides it
A
down.
couple of ales for my friends here.
That we can do. Pours you up a couple of ales. Slides it down to you.
Have you seen my old man Marv this evening?
Marv.
Yeah, you know, works down on the docks here. You know, old
That-
Marv.
That slum.
What?
That son of a bitch owes me money.
Oh. That sounds like Marv.
That Marv, he's always into something.
Why do you think we're looking for him?
Well, if you find him, take a couple of hits out of him for me.
Oh, we most certainly will.
I would check down by the docks, but give it probably another 2 more hours.
Well, ample time for us to have a couple of drinks at your
I-
fine establishment.
I go down there and look for myself, but as you can tell,
It seems that you're a little preoccupied.
yes. And for what little bit he owes me,
It can wait.
it can wait.
Well done. Well, don't worry. When we find old Marv, we'll give him the how-to and the what-for from you.
Good, do it hard.
He
And
he won't actually be hitting him hard, but yeah.
Well,
So with
But
that,
I will.
he turns and walks because he's
busy as fuck. Up
Yeah,
to his
yeah.
asshole and fucking...
he's busier than cat burying shit on a tin roof.
Yeah, man.
So with that, he turns and I mean he's pouring drinks and sliding them down the bar, and there's stuff coming out of the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Excellent. Excellent. We stay and we kind of shoot the shit around and fucking... You're not a pickpocketer, are you? You're not that kind of
I
thief,
am
are
not
you?
that kind of thief. I don't put much into my pickpocketing.
What were you trying to? What are you modeling your thief after?
Like assassin-y?
No, I'm more of a like
Just stealthy kind of guy.
stealthy, breaking enterings, then move silent, hide shadow kind of guy.
Kind of like a dungeon expert,
And then
Where she is the...
cut purse.
She is the pickpocket.
Yeah, the pickpocket and the... Yeah.
I don't do the pickpocket anymore because that's generally like small potatoes. I'll break it down. I'll break into a closed down building and read the till.
So, yeah, that's kind of where they're at as far as that was concerned. So, flagging back over for another, another couple ales and another glass of wine, just to kind of burn the time. You know,
Okay.
there's not any.
you guys burn the time. It's probably 1 a.m,
Oof.
and it has slowed up a little bit, but it's still pretty
Pretty rowdy crowd, or what?
rowdy crowd in here,
Yeah.
which is not, generally speaking, with all the inns and stuff you guys have been into to this point, by 1 o'clock in the morning, y'all were in bed.
Yeah.
This has stayed, or if you weren't, you were sitting down in the inn by yourself next to a fire reading a spell book.
Right.
But You wouldn't do that here.
Right. It's too lively.
Yeah.
There's too much commotion. Too many fisticuffs flying left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm looking for another guy. Also, I wonder if you by any chance seen a Pip around.
Don't know, Pip. Can't help you there.
Don't know Pip.
Pit bull. Kind of mingle around through the bar, just get the lay of the land. Any card games, any dice
Oh,
games?
God,
also?
yes.
Okay, go up and I want to. Hope you guys got my back.
All right.
I'll let them know that before I start actually making the mingle on, but mingle through the crowd. I want to stand behind a guy, kind of like he's sitting here, and I'm kind of just standing back over here. Jays, are those good? A pair of Jays? You have 3 A's in your hand.
Hey! Guy throws his card down. You shut up! Yeah, you!
Me?
Or I'll take you outside and I'll shut you up!
Well, I wouldn't be talking like that when we find my friend Mob.
Yeah, you talk like that to us, and Marv is gonna whoop your ass.
I don't know who Marv is, but I'll take him outside and clean his clock.
You don't want to know Marv.
Please, you don't know Mob? Everyone knows Mob. Works down here on the docks. Shady fellow.
Take a look around you.
Knows his way around.
We're all shady.
With a dagger. So, did I do something wrong, though, by calling out your A's?
Yes. You can't tell my hand to everybody else.
But you show them anyways. I don't know the first thing about card games, so I'm like...
Yeah, as a mage, you're not a...
Fuck no, I'm not learned in the ways of card games and gambling.
But Royce is a little bit, and what little bit Royce knows is this is very bad.
Wait, I'll take Quintus aside. Quintus, the idea of them having their cards facing themselves is so nobody else sees them. It's a secret until they lay them down.
But that's the ruse I'm going for.
Well, you got a ruse, all right.
Does that mean I might get a bruise from said ruse?
You might. You just might.
Well, I don't think it's anything that we couldn't handle. Besides,
We
A's,
You have a
J's, psh, I don't know the first thing about what's going on here.
K's and Q's.
So, you guys are going through all of this, and a guy comes up behind you as you two are talking about, this is bad, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Guy comes up behind you. You're looking for Marv.
Yeah. Looking for Marv.
As a matter of fact, we are.
Check down by the docks. Black pants, white stripes, red hair. All come real weird.
He's a mime.
Bunch of earrings in each ear.
That sounds like Marv.
Hey, no. What's your buddy on? Must be some weird shit.
He's high on life.
The Dragon's Bane.
That's what I just was from the Dragon's Bane.
He should go repent. He can't handle it.
Nobody
So-
can.
Thanks.
He turns and walks away.
All right. So I'll stagger along. Barkeep, thank you for the wines and ales. We must be on our way.
Now,
Act a little goofier than.
alright, I'll try to wrangle him out of here, and as I'm doing it, like,
Stumble along.
watch yourself when we leave this place. There's a good chance it's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
So, not struggle against him, but kind of make
a cruise.
Yeah, exactly. As the dwarf is shuttling me towards the door.
The barkeep does wave goodbye, but that's about all you get because he's still pretty busy.
Yeah.
So he's cordial and waves by.
I want to kind of peruse the room, see if there's anybody that looks like they might be trying to follow us out.
Make a
Alertness or perception?
alertness.
Finally.
Yay!
Made it?
Yeah.
It does not appear that anybody's following you.
Hey. That's what we call the start of a streak here, bud.
Yeah. We got a streak of one. By
Better than
one,
a streak
by
of
one,
0.
by one roll streak.
All right. Once we get outside, pull my robes a little. Thank you, Trog. I think you kept us out of a little trouble there, but stupid wizard.
Humans.
Right. Calls.
Calls.
He's got a point. But
Unless it comes to Royce, then it's gnomes.
be on our way down towards. I'm assuming the guy gave us a kind of a general direction towards which portion of the docks to head down, kind of to the north, because you said that's facing the water, which is the west, is the door we went out,
Right. Probably right
and the
around
docks
where we
are
were.
typically to the north. Yep.
Correct. So the far, basically the far north corner.
Okay.
Where he told you, kind of give you a general direction.
All right. So down into the warehouse-ish, or the back street along the warehouses there, one or the other, right?
So you want to run
The shop.
down here or down behind them?
Probably the shops, and then kick in.
That would be my thought,
Okay.
is to head down along that shop row.
So how exactly? So you head down the shop row, and then you just kind of find your way in between warehouse, because there's enough room.
Right.
The warehouses aren't right on each other, so there is
It's like,
room.
like one of the wider gap warehouses you kind of walk through. Something that you're not.
Okay.
Something that doesn't look like it's going to be full of bandits. You know,
Right.
there may be, but the one that looks the least likely.
To get their asses jumped
Yeah.
as we're walking along. I don't want to be as raucous as I was in the last 2 stops that we, like the last 2 out of 3 stops that we've made, like going in and Marv, Marv, are you down here? Marv, do you hear me? Marv, are you down here?
So as you guys make your way
Kind of a whispered tone, I guess.
between warehouses, you come out on the street that is on the water,
Okay.
and out on the one dock you can see somebody that matches Marv's description. He's holding a lantern. Make a perception check.
Woo!
Nature 20, baby!
Yes, I got it.
I had that streak of 1 earlier. She spent.
I rolled an 11, just under.
Okay, Matt, you notice that Marv, this lantern has some kind of mechanism on it, and he's working it back and forth, and there's a shield in the front of it that's
So he's flashing like SOS or
some
Morse code possibly of sorts.
he's flashing something that you don't understand.
Yeah.
And then he turns and he walks into this warehouse.
The very end one.
Yep.
Gentlemen, did you see Marv? Entree-vous inside that warehouse right there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's sashay our way down there.
As you guys are headed down toward that general direction, Marv comes back out and he heads to the wall. Of course, there's a guard tower right there.
Alright, is he close enough for us to say his name and him here without
Not-
yelling at?
No.
Alright, so
Um,
I'm just
Let's
You
run.
see him. He gets up to that guard tower, and it doesn't appear that there's any guards at this point that are on top of that tower.
Okay.
You see him get to that guard tower, and then it's almost like he,
Disappears.
yeah.
go check the guard
Yeah,
tower.
let's take off at a run.
Alright, let's send the gnome into the guard tower.
Alright,
See what's
I'm
going
in. I'm going.
Okay.
So the gnome is keeping up with me on the run to the tower.
Okay.
My little legs are just on fire.
Okay. So you get to the tower,
You are not on fire, Zeke Bobby.
and there's no door here. It's just it's a guard tower. It's made of stone.
Yeah.
Start feeling around.
Alright, I'm gonna feel my way around in there.
Okay.
Maybe there's a portal of some sort. Because I would know what a portal would be. Because he just disappeared out of thin air.
Right. Make a find hidden door check.
Oh, fuck. Where would that be? Right here.
And you can give yourself
20%.
what is it?
20%.
You can give yourself a plus 20% bonus because you know something is afoot.
Alright. So I need 40%.
Yeah, it's not like you're blindly looking for. You know something's afoot here.
3%.
Wow, he crushed that one.
Okay, you find a door that is. So you've got obviously you've got your wall, you've got your tower, and in the face of the tower,
Mm-hmm.
those blocks are false.
Interesting.
Alright, is there anybody in here with me?
Yeah,
Well,
I
you're-
ran up there.
you-
You
yeah.
didn't. You're not in. But
You're not in. You found the door,
Okay.
and you found the mechanism to open the door.
I'm sure as you're coming along, you see it happening.
Right.
Yeah, you were hot on my heels. I was the first one there because
Matt's movement is greater than your guys', so Matt can clearly get there before any of
Alright, well, I'm gonna go to the door.
you. Okay. You find a false block in the wall. That's a trigger. And when you push on it, it slides out. There's a little door that slides out of the way. I mean, it's
That's
not
pretty
like
nifty.
it's not a straight up door. It's just like an opening that opens.
Mhm.
You basically, well, actually, do you go in?
Yes.
Okay. So you crawl through this door, and there's like a few steps that go down. It's not very far. And then it levels out, and then it goes back up again. And it ends at another, what you assume is a door.
So is this like inside the guard tower itself then?
Well, you figure because the steps go down, you figure you're actually below the tower and below the wall. So you maybe take, I'm going to say maybe 6 or 7 stairs down.
Mhm.
Then there's a little landing, and then there's 6 or 7 stairs right back up again.
So maybe the assumption is that we close the door behind us.
Okay.
Right. I'm assuming this is a way in and out of the city.
Right, going out to the other side of the wall. You were 100% where I was at with this. So Zeke starts searching for another hidden door. I'm assuming this leads right out the north wall of the city here.
Alright, I'm gonna search again.
You find it.
Obviously, it's good on this side. It would be more obvious because it's not hidden technically.
Correct.
Okay. So
Before you do that, before you go through the door, I want you to make a perception check.
all of us or just him?
Actually, all of you can.
That's good because.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah!
Right on. I got it again.
Net 1,
Maybe
baby.
fucking 12 this time.
So you all notice there's some kind of insignia or mark on this door.
Yeah.
And Royce, you know this mark as the mark of the local thieves guild.
I'll let you guys in on it. This mark here is the mark of the local thieves guild.
Is this something we want to
Pursue.
pursue, or do we want to
Oh yeah, they're mine.
come back?
The gnome,
What?
not worried.
Yeah.
He's got this, not worried.
He may not be worried, but I think this is something that you and I, as
All right.
non-pickpocketing folk,
Right.
maybe we should be worried.
Just
Should
pretend
we
you're
back
thieves.
out? And
I still think this. We can't get in any trouble for going outside the city wall.
right.
Who knows where it leads after this and where Marv went. If we don't get underway,
Right. Maybe not be hanging out here when someone comes in.
exactly. That would be the best case scenario, is to just beat feet and get through this passage out of town. We can always come back in through the eastern gate. It may take a few hours, but so that's the game plan. We're going
Okay.
to
So you open the door.
Yep.
Okay, so you open the door, and it moves in the same fashion as the other door, and you crawl through, and sure enough, you're just outside the city wall.
Is there any sign of Marv?
You can see footprints heading off into the distance.
Damn it.
What? We want to follow the tracks? Is it just like one set of tracks, or is it
Yep.
like a path where they?
Let's follow it.
At this point, to know that, you would have to make a tracking. Does anybody have tracking?
I'm a mage.
I have farming. Does that help?
That does not-
I'll double check.
Although you can tell that this area right here, there is some wild grasses that are growing just outside the city gates. Those grasses are very good for animal grazing.
I have.
It looks like it was seeded on purpose. They're not native to the.
As funny as this is. F. Woodlore. Forester. Woodlore. Is that what I have? Forester.
I'm picking up after them tracks.
Do you have tracking?
No.
Okay.
Okay, I see the tracks.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
at this point, you're without making a tracking check, you're just assuming that they're Mars.
And head that way.
Yeah, because they're humanoid of sorts. So
Forester. Woodlore. And lumbering. Anything? We're in the forest, right?
it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice trees.
Make nice boards.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I like.
That one I got.
Prime place for a sawmill. Prime.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
Tell
But-
us the board
We got fire buildings, so I can say fuck those trees.
Excellent.
But it's irrelevant at this point. So like I said, without making a tracking check, the tracks are fresh enough and it doesn't look like Marv is trying to hide his
Escape, per
yeah.
se.
You guys follow what you assume are Marv tracks. You follow them for about a half hour into the woods. And you hear like a splashing sound coming from, because You're still fairly close to the water.
But do we recognize it as a river or as
No.
a creek?
No, it's still the ocean or the sea.
Okay.
But it sounds like something is in the water.
Lapping against it.
You're not close enough to the water to see out into the water. You just know that it's there and you can hear splashing in it.
Sure.
We send our rogue out, see if he can
Have swimming.
swimming.
Hmm?
No, I mean you don't have to swim, but just like get close to the water and check stuff out.
Take the shoreline. You know, there's probably some sort of beach, whether it's rocky or sand.
It's
I mean, I can't say that it isn't some sort of jagged cliff that you're looking down on either. but
it's not a jagged cliff. It's a rock face, but right where the water's at, it's sandy. You got like a couple of feet, and then it's rocky, and then it goes up into the forest.
I gotcha. You feel that, Zeke? You feel it? You feel them knocking?
Do a little stealth into that area and see if we can.
Yes, I do.
But I would like to cast guidance on him.
Perfect. Who
So
would like a little help?
you first, before you roll, we need a die 4 from you.
Perfect. Get some.
2.
So you get a plus 20% to whatever ability you're going to attribute that to.
How deep is the water?
Well, it depends how far out are you talking.
You ain't sneaking if you're fucking swimming through the water.
No, you're right. I'll take the shoreline. I will do. Can I put that 20% on multiple different ones?
Nope.
No.
One or the other.
It's one or the other.
I would go with move silently.
All right.
You're small enough. It's not like you're gonna.
Actually, you know what I could do? It's up to you if you allow this. I did it with the fucking wagon tires and the ram.
Prestidigitate me
And,
quietly, and I can do move and hide in shadows.
No, I don't like that.
okay.
That's taken away from his.
Nope. I get it. I get it.
Or would you have to be following them along to do it? Like you were on the cart, you could do it.
Yeah, something more like that.
Well, then,
Okay.
then
So
he
I
would-
need
he would be able
a
to make
55 or lower, or
his sneaking
20%
because he'd be
more. So I
concentrating.
need a. What was I?
Move
Yeah,
silent.
65. Or over.
3% again. Jesus Christ. Now do your hide in shadows. But you need a 45 or lower. You are not hiding in shadows, but not that you necessarily know that, but you are
You're
moving
being-
stealthily.
Yeah, you are being stealthy. So you slip along the shoreline, being all careful, and what you see is there's a spot in the shoreline where it's not rocky, so to speak,
Yeah.
and you can see a rather large, way off in the distance, you can see a ship docked. Or I shouldn't say docked, but it's not,
Is it
doesn't
anchored?
appear to be moving. Let's put it that way. You don't know if it's necessarily anchored, but it doesn't
Moored
appear.
offshore, or
Yeah,
it's just there. Yeah.
there is a barge, but it's not a big river barge. It's a rather large rowboat, we'll call it, and that's the splash you hear. It's not. You're close enough to hear it, but if you weren't this close, you wouldn't hear it. And it's just about the shore.
What you're saying is there's a chance. I hung back. I'm not going out there with him.
So you either hang out there, or you're gonna come back and let us know.
And it's you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Your
what
call.
are you doing?
I'm still gonna go looking for. Marv.
Remember, you're by yourself. We hung back so you could
I'm
do
okay with that.
recon.
That's fine.
You don't, as of right now, you don't see Marv.
Hmm.
The boat gets to shore, and you can see there's probably maybe 10 people aboard this barge.
Yeah.
There's a couple of burly sailors, pretty stout looking. They're not wearing much like the tavern. They're big fluffy pants with all kinds of stripes, earrings, nose rings, scimitars at their side. Human, pretty stout humans.
Sailors, if we had to guess.
The people that are on there are not well dressed, but they're not in rags either. No weapons, no armor. The boat gets to shore, and these burly sailors kind of hoard these people off this barge, and Marv kind of appears out of the weeds, and then Royce, you see a wagon, rather narrow, but they hoard these people into this wagon. It's a slave wagon. They slam the door and lock it, and the wagon takes off. The sailors jump back on the barge and make their way back out into the ocean, headed back toward the ship that's moored off.
I don't see any of this because it's dark.
Royce is the only one that sees this, and the wagon creaks along through the woods. You can tell in the woods there's not a quote unquote path for the wagon, but it's almost like they know how to weave the wagon in between the trees.
Yeah. So I'm moving silently. I'm gonna kind of run up and jump up in the back of the wagon. I'm still moving silently, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way through the brush and the sticks and the.
Yep.
You can tell that there's two people running the wagon. There's two people sitting on top, would be on the roof of the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the backs are turned to you. So you have no problem. You jump up to the back of the wagon. There's like steps on the back of the wagon.
I think it's like a circus cart.
Kinda, yeah. Okay, you're standing on the steps.
Yep.
What do you do?
Exactly what we told him not to do. Not to separate ourselves.
Man, it's taken him a while.
I know, what? Must be gathering some excellent information.
True, he is.
So at
Stealthiest
this,
of the
I'm
stealthy.
still getting information. So yeah.
so at this point,
The second best rogue I know. I only know two.
So at this point, you guys are not quite sure what's going on, but you find it weird that
He's not back yet.
he's not back yet.
I told him I'd count to 100. I'm on 700 now.
You're counted slower.
I take it we don't hear anything anymore. No splashing.
No. Well, the splashing, you hear it, and then it stops, and then you hear it again. But now the splashing, as when you heard it the first time, it was getting closer.
Yeah.
Now it seems to be getting farther away.
This idiot, he's taking away my confidence from him as we speak. I said I liked him, out the window.
I'm
Stupid gnome.
yeah. I'm stepping up on the back of the wagon.
Okay.
How many people are carting this wagon around?
Well, there's 10 people in the wagon that are prisoners.
All right.
And you can tell that there's 2 people sitting on top. Backs to you.
And
You assume there's more, but you can't tell that from where you're at.
obviously there's at least one there. There's at least 3 because the cart's fucking moving.
Yeah.
All right.
There's at least 3.
The people kind of start to whisper stuff like, help us, get us out of here, unlock the door, blah, blah, blah.
Are they in chains?
They are in chains.
It's all locked? Or can they run with their chains at all? Or
They're all chained together. But
All
they're
right.
not chained to the cart.
But the cart door is locked.
Correct.
I'll try and pick the lock.
Okay. So before you roll that, I've been doing some rules reading. Just so you know, when it comes to thieving abilities like pick lock and that kind of thing, you have 1 chance. That's all you get for a lock pick. You either pick it or you don't.
All right. Well,
So pick it.
I got it.
16%.
18.
Okay.
Whatever.
Click. The giant ass padlock.
Yeah. I open it up and just like,
The lock opens.
and we're just kind of like, and have them get out just kind of slowly. I know this cart's moving, but
You ever heard an iron door open?
yeah, but as things go along, wheels are clanking on stuff, clippity clop of horses.
He said they're moving pretty good. I'm just saying.
So
It's gonna
I'm
be
trying to make it hard on
It's
you,
gonna be a
man.
tuck and roll with chains for these guys.
Good way to get them stopped.
Yes, it is.
We're still too far away to know that anything's going on.
correct. So we're gonna pause with Royce for a sec, and we gotta go to you two.
Right.
So you two are standing out in the middle of the woods, dark ass night. There is a little bit of moonlight, so you can see somewhat.
Right.
But yeah, it's been what you figure is way too long for your gnome
Right.
friend.
Then we figured to start headed that way. I mean, we're not gonna be able to sneak the edge as much, go in a little deeper, and kind of go quicker. I'm not gonna be able to sneak it.
What? You're a chainmail or some shit, aren't you?
Split mail,
Yeah.
shield.
We're
We're not gonna just run
Right.
but just kind of make haste because he's small enough that a slave trader can grab him up pretty easy and throw him in a cart.
Okay,
That's
so
my worries.
you get
Right
to
he's gotten abducted. That's my thought process.
you get to the point where the barge unloaded. You see where that happened. As you look out into the ocean, you see the boat that's out there, and you see the barge out there as well. So you put 2 and 2 together and figure that part of it out.
Okay.
You can see rough wagon tracks heading off into the distance with no sign of your gnome friend whatsoever. You can kind of hear the wagon way up in the distance.
Jesus, he's been abducted.
Right? They've got him. We gotta head that way. I mean, make her.
Well, I'll follow you as best I can. I can't see in the dark. So
Like I said, there's moonlight, so Matt is able. You guys are able.
it's not like I'm completely fucking blind. I could walk outside right now. I might trip on something here and there, but it's not like I'm completely fucking blind to everything.
Or
Right.
scorpion.
I just think
What?
Or scorpion again.
Yeah. The snowbank.
just have him follow behind me.
Yeah.
And
So, you guys do catch up to the wagon
Eventually.
eventually. About the time you catch up to the wagon, you see this iron door open, You see probably 10 people in this cart. Your gnome friend is hanging onto the iron door as it's sitting there swinging back and forth. There's about 4 people on the ground. The 5th one is about to step down, and you see this burly human standing on the back of the wagon on top of it, looking down. He's wearing like a leather, it covers like his face and everything, so just like his eyes are. And you hear, "Hold up!" Royce, you look up and there's this big ass fucking human looking down at you. He's got this big ass club.
Well, I let go and drop to the ground.
Okay.
I see my buddies creeping up the way.
No.
Alright. Well,
Up to this point, you figure you're into this all by yourself.
I'm small, so I'm going to get in behind the wagon wheel and let them come at me, and I'm going to go through it with the daggers.
So when you let go and drop to the ground, then
I go under the wagon,
okay.
wait for them to drop down.
Okay. So the one that was on top drops down. The other one that was sitting up there runs back. Or no. Let me restart that. The one that was back there by you drops down. The one that was up front enters in from the front of the wagon, grabs a hold of the chain, and starts pulling these people back in.
Hoisting them one after another.
He pulls out his club. "Get out here, you little son of a bitch! We'll put you in chains too. You can be a cook."
You must not want to be eating very good food then.
We can beat instructions into a gnome.
Hey, that lock just popped on its own. I just climbed up here looking for Marv.
Do we hear any of this? Can we roll a perception check to see if we
No,
hear any
you
of
can
this?
hear all this. You can
Nonsense?
Hear, yeah. Sounds like your gnome is trying to do some fast talking.
That's what we do.
Make haste, Trog. Obviously they've captured him.
How far away are we?
You got about 3 rounds and you'll be there.
So, a couple hundred feet then.
Yeah.
Easily.
Alright. Doors aren't natural marathoners.
Yeah.
They're sprinters. Very dangerous over short distances.
Very deadly.
So, these people have just about been wrangled back into the wagon at this point.
They're really not much for strong people then, are they?
They've just come from
Commoners, man.
They're commoners. They've just been on a long boat journey. Their strength is not quite up to snuff. So,
Just a little bump.
about the time you guys arrive, the prisoners have all been dragged back up into the wagon. And the guy that is in the wagon that pulled them all in yells, "Go!" You hear this, and the wagon starts moving again. Royce, you see the wagon pull away from you.
Can we see the front of the wagon?
You cannot see the front of the wagon.
So,
Now the one guy is still in the wagon.
There's 2 guys up on top.
there's nobody up on top.
Well,
You know there's at least one more
can
because the wagon's moving.
I can see him in the wagon though, right?
I can't. Can I see any people at all from where I'm standing?
No, because you were under the wagon. It has now pulled away. You are no longer under the wagon. The wagon is now mobile again.
All right.
And now you're standing there, and there's this big ass human.
I would like to.
Oh, he didn't get back on.
No,
I got 120 feet. Can I chill touch? It's got a range of 120 feet.
you're within range.
The wheel to try to get one of the wheels to try to get it to pop off, or like break or something. Like
Y'all are still on here?
What?
Y'all are still playing?
Yeah.
we started late.
We started late. We're only going to be a few more minutes. Why?
I don't know, ready for bed.
We'll go to bed.
I am.
Don't let us keep you.
um,
Planning on it.
something I can do?
You can try, sure.
Sure. Okay. Excellent. I like the idea, anyways. It's good in theory, maybe not in practice. Armor class 3? Hit the tire?
That would probably hit the tire, I would think, yes.
Yeah, I would think it probably only have an armor class 10 anyhow, but
Nice steel rim.
yeah, maybe.
1/4-inch steel. Tough to get to.
Better than those ones Hugh had on his card.
Mag wheels.
So the wood wheel makes its saving throw to cold.
Damn. Still took 5 damage. Or half, or whatever.
Royce, you and I are on a niche.
Yes, we are.
Do you want us to all just roll?
Sure.
Just be on the safe side.
I rolled a 9.
15.
Got a 4.
Why am I rolling that? Jesus Christ. I rolled a 3.
Me too.
So it's going to, you roll a 4.
Yeah.
We can just go in order then.
Okay, so for right now, you're going to go first,
Right.
and then it's going to be him. Because these guys, it's going to be about 2 rounds before they get there.
All right.
There goes our roll. Good thing we got another one.
That's a hit.
19.
Armor class 1.
That hits.
Armor class of 7.
Armor class of 7 does not hit.
All right. Well,
Remember, Roy. Thaco minus number to get.
I hit him for 1.
Bow!
What are you attacking with?
Dagger.
Dagar.
You just catch him.
Right in the Achilles.
Keep running along. Yeah, go ahead. Do you.
That's going to hit you. What's your armor class?
Like negative something. No, it's 6.
Yeah, that hits. Clubs you for 6.
Whoop. Whoop. Max damage on a club.
Pretty good.
It's like, Judas.
Eyes go across a little bit.
Nope, in the leg.
He feels a little shorter.
Yeah. So that's back to you.
I'm running. I'm running.
All right. Here we go. We're gonna do it again.
Armor class of 3.
That
Yes.
hits.
Bitch, his armor class is 6 as well. Armor class of 8 does not hit.
Does not hit.
All right. Hook him again.
Pig sticker.
For 3.
So you got him for 4 total.
Yeah. Right in the testicles.
You're gonna die, clown.
And he misses.
Either the end of June or mid July. Happy Gilmore 2 comes out on Netflix.
I seen that. Okay, so now you guys are there.
All right,
They're not putting it on theaters?
Netflix only. All right. So, anyways, I think I want to try to fucking Ray of Frost the wheel again to get it to stop. So if I can get the tire to collapse, they're going to be dragging ass to get away from us, and at least we can catch back up to them. Hugh,
I'm gonna sacred flame that man. He's just
we're shouting off back and forth. Help the gnome! I'm going to try to stop the wagon.
All right, so it's a new round. So Royce, go ahead with your attack because you guys all beat him in niche.
Yeah.
So
No, that's 7.
Go gauge.
Armor class of 14.
Armor class of 2 hits.
That one hits. For 1.
So it's either between 7 and 3. So I'm guessing 6, maybe 5.
all right, Matt, you're next. Do your chill touch.
All right. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. No.
This is a level 20 wheel.
I get stopped and I throw my hand out, and like as I'm stopping, I'm casting, and I kind of fuck it up and like often freeze a tree up.
Yeah, there's a tree next to the wagon that's got ice on it now.
Right. Now you just gotta make a saving throw and.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's gonna make it because that's an 18. So
Oh, yeah. He dips out of the way of the holy
Yeah.
fire.
Ah! God damn it! Ah! Now he could hit either Hugh or Rice. But he doesn't.
The peel out.
Okay, Roy, go ahead.
Alright. No, armor class of 18. No, that's.
What'd you roll?
3. Armor class of 18. And armor class of 8.
Nope, and nope. You're back up again.
Alright, this time I'm going to use Ray of Frost because I think I'm within 60 feet of the wagon.
60 feet? Yeah, stretching it, but yeah.
Okay,
Because when you gotta remember, you stop to cast.
okay. Then I'll continue with Chill Touch then, just because I will say it's out of range at that point. So, Armor Class 6.
Armor class 6 hits.
Yes! Hits the tire. Yes! Excellent. Where'd you go, you little sucker? For 8.
Tiger gets attack of opportunity.
Yeah, no, but just so you know, the saving throw on wood versus cold is 2.
Oh my god.
So I rolled a 13, so I blew the saving throw right out of the water. So yes, there is frost on the wood, and it's making some weird creaking noises and shit, but it's still holding up.
And I'm too far away to prestidigitate any noise to spook like the horses or the team of horses or whatever, so I can't. I've got nothing going there.
Right. Well, this time, Ben, we're right on each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can face him where Zeke's just off of Fuzz because he's fighting. So I'm gonna do Burning Hands.
Woo!
It's a cool spell.
Yep, it's a 15-foot cone, and everything that's flammable in there catches fire. That's why I wanted to make sure the gnome wasn't in the way, because
No.
gnomes are notoriously flammable.
Yeah.
And
Weird how easily they burn.
So is there a save on it?
it's a dex saving throw for half.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make a normal save.
3d6. I'll get my good d6s out for this one.
Wow. He did make his saving throw. What is the damage?
Well, I did 11, so
5, 6, and you've done. Okay.
4.
No, he's done 5.
I got 5.
I got 5.
11 total. He's looking a little peaked.
and And now everything's lit.
Well, yeah, but now we're gonna make a morale check.
The fuck's a morale check?
His willingness to continue to fight.
Oh, okay.
It happens in the spring when you drive by a nice little wooded spot.
Yeah.
You stop and you do a little morale check.
I'll give you that.
So he takes off running. So that's gonna give you. He's running back toward the wagon.
And I'm like,
All right.
So that's gonna give you and Hugh opportunity attacks.
who don't like that?
I like it.
Hell
A
yeah.
bunch.
Give him a couple stabolas. Get with it. Natural 20.
And
Oh, a 6. Armor class of 6.
Yes.
oh. All right. Well, I'll do the 20
It
first.
just fell off another natural 20 there, dude.
So there's 4 and 2, so 6.
Is that for the natural 20?
4 total on the natural 20.
I thought
I
we were doing it the same way.
It's double die. Yep.
Yep. So you
So
can
what's
do
your damage?
your initial would be
Oh,
your initial would be max dice
so 4.
plus whatever you roll.
So then I rolled 2, so then that would be 6.
6.
Then I got another 2, so I got total 8.
So total 8.
Yep.
Okay,
Nice.
so you drop him.
Nice.
Yeah!
Excellent.
How do you do it? Where do you hit him?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
well, it's opportunity attack, and
Yeah, he was more or less.
Hamstring him.
Yeah, so he
Right.
turned
Binding.
around and ran, so you were actually attacking his back. So keep that in mind.
Stab him right in the butthole.
yep. I pretty much
You probably got him.
Could you imagine being?
I pretty much just run and jump and sink my dagger up high and just write it down.
Oh,
So
Just a hard rake.
slice the muscle that whatever it is, like under the butt cheek.
oh,
Oh my god!
we'll just say as you do that, you sever his spinal cord.
And he drops to the ground
Yeah.
like a sack of taters.
Yeah.
And as he's like skinning on his stomach, I
You're a
ride him like a surfboard.
That's going to require a tumbling check.
Yay!
I'll do
Sucker.
it. I'll do it. For sure. Where?
Do you have tumbling?
I don't
As a
know.
thief, you
Tumbling,
I
right
do.
there. Dex 0. So you need to roll an 18 or under. 4.
4.
He beat the crap out of that roll. So he does. Pulls up, dagger in hand, dripping blood.
I look back at Trugadon and I go, tip my hat.
Your indie hat. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, why don't we leave off there for the evening?
Yep, remember, the wagon is getting away. What is today?
7th.
It is the 7th?